Hello everyone and welcome to a new video for Bitcoin today. It's a special day, of course, to have several videos for Bitcoin because of what's happening, of course, in the market and the fear that is going on. Because of this small drop here, which considering the whole chart of Bitcoin. So as today in the video, I showed already a deep analysis about the parabolic cycle of Bitcoin that is going on, right? And we saw already that there is a repetition for every cycle, for every single fib level, whether the bottom side that we already always touch the same fib levels at 0.78 and the 886. For this cycle, we have already touched it, all right? So that is the indicator of that cycle that we have already reached the lower low So from the perspective of the crash that we hear a lot now in the market, a crash of Bitcoin as well, that is very far possibility, okay? It's a very far possibility. Now, to drop a little bit or to drop some amount, that is very possible, of course. Everything is possible to drop a little bit down and then move up to fill that gap, which is still open, right? For Bitcoin to move up for the cycle. And for the parabolic curve that we can see here, we can see that even it's still towards the upside, right? For the cycle, even for the next cycle. So if we take this to the next cycle, yeah, maybe next cycle we start to get into the sideways, but we might still be over 100K, right? If Bitcoin reach. So I don't want to be to sound like a moon boy here, but I mean these are the facts, right? These are the facts that we are seeing every cycle, and we are seeing now in front of us, right, on the chart. So technically, all right, I don't see any signals of a bearish market yet. Okay, I don't see any signal for a bearish market unless we reach some level in this area, which I'm going to talk about it on the weekly chart. Now, for the things that is going on about the recession in the US, all right? So this is the whole scenario now, the fear, the psychological fear of the market that it is about now is the recession in the US. Okay, so talking about the recession in the US, that is definitely a big problem, yeah, with the US. Of course, I make already my some study here on the DXY, right, to see what's going on, and already, yeah, the recession is already clear in the DXY. We see a triangle here, right? And this study has been made, like, I think, before months, to be honest. I never checked before. However, yeah, it looks like this triangle is working exactly as it is. And A, B, C, and D, and E. And if the E is gonna finish there, right, we are expecting a downtrend for the DXY, all right? So that might happen, all right, in the next few months, by the way, next few months, if that happen, okay, which for the next few months, I think we'll be already over the all-time high in Bitcoin, okay? This is my point of view, technical point of view. So from that side, okay, yeah, the US might be in a recession, okay, and it might, yeah, be something worse happening later on, but I still believe that we have a lot of time for it. And there is, of course, the effect of the news, the economical news, how they will handle this, right? Because I think the next September, which is the next month, there is a rate cut of the interest. Now, I don't want to go so much into the fundamentals, but when a rate cuts happen, that will be explosive for Bitcoin, okay? So this is the thing. Now, talking again about the US market, let's talk technically and what it could affect a Bitcoin, right? I'm gonna show you what's going on with what is going on with the EURUSD, okay? The EURUSD market. Because of the recession that they talk about in the US, we see on the monthly chart here, or even I'm gonna show you the weekly and the daily. I just want to show you what happened the last day in the EURUSD, all right? A massive bull run for the euro. Why? Because, of course, of the recession in the US specifically. That means the investors are moving their investments from the US dollar to something else, all right? Definitely something else, such as euro, okay, or other currencies. I'm gonna show you also the worst case scenario, which is the JPY USD, which Japanese yen, which is going now in a very bad situation, right? The yen, the Japanese yen is in a crash market, okay? And look what happened when the US recession has started. Look what happened. So imagine what's going on here in other currencies, all right, than US. So I don't understand why you rely the recession of the US to Bitcoin. All right. Now, of course, because of this, right? Because of that wave that is going down during the recession, and they realize this to it, I see that it has nothing at all to do with it. Okay. It is totally the opposite, right? What we are seeing here is definitely what it should happen based on this chart, okay? We already got a very high and impulsive waves before this, and definitely we need a correction, right? Definitely we need a correction, because after this massive high wave or impulsive wave, we need some correction so to be able to move on, right? Otherwise it doesn't work, and it has been working for that even on the whole chart, right? We cannot move on without any correction. Impulsive waves, correction. Impulsive waves, before moving forward with the last wave, we need a correction. All right, so therefore, I'm still pointing at the psychology of the market and the fear. What can the fear do? All right, because Bitcoin now is the highest asset, or the highest secure asset that an investor can invest in it now, especially in a recession of USA, right? In the recession of USA. So if that is not the right assets to put your investment in, why it should be the euro or the JPY, right? The yen, the Japanese yen. Why it should be. So it doesn't make a sense, right? We all know how much Bitcoin is a powerful asset, and it has been like this for many cycles, right? So I believe that this is exactly the psychology of the market there, and this is exactly what we need, by the way. Moreover, I want to show you another thing here, which is the fear and greed, right? Index. And I want to show you how it has jumped from yesterday. It was in greed, and today is directly in fear, right? Sorry for the ads here by the website. However, from 57 to 37 directly. And this is exactly what a bull trend needs. Every time Bitcoin make an impulse, an explosive impulse to the upside, the fear and greed index was to the extreme fear, by the way. Okay, so by tomorrow, I'm expecting that the fear and greed index will be to the extreme fear, and we are gonna see a drop to the area which I was speaking about in the previous videos and also in this alternative scenario here. Here we go. Tomorrow, between tonight and tomorrow, right, we might see a further downside, filling this gap and moving up impulsively towards the upside. It is very possible, if that has closed this weekend, it is very possible that the next week we might start to see some signal of a explosive wave towards the upside. Okay, of course this is still possibilities. However, this is exactly what it should be in a bull market, right? These are all the indicators and all the psychology and the fear and everything. This is exactly what an impulsive wave towards the upside needs to move on. Okay, trading is not easy. All right, trading is not a joke. It's not a simple game. All right, trading is something that it fights you from the inside. Okay, and you need to fight back, right? And you need to keep your emotions a little bit far from the from the environment that is going on during that chart and that price action. Okay, so this is the thing. This is how I see the things now. This is how, I mean, why investors have to invest in other currencies and just ignore Bitcoin, all right, with all its powerful shape and the whole cycles that we saw before, and the higher high every cycle, and even the U.S. Federal Reserve, even itself, he said that Bitcoin is a very stable and strong asset, right? So what do we expect? Okay. One more thing we talked about today during the intraday video. We spoke that we might see several options here. Okay, for the scenario, we might see a half close for the gap and a retracement. And I'm telling you, I'm saying this not just because I'm saying. It's always based on something. Okay, so I'm gonna show you in the history of the CME. I'm gonna show you a almost same gap. Here we go. You see this huge gap here that we are looking forward. Of course, the CME didn't close it yet because now it's weekend, and this do not work in the weekend. It stopped on Friday midnight. Okay, so expect on Monday, yeah, to see this already filled, and it might create some gaps here even. All right. So what I'm expecting on Monday to see this, right? To see this and even a gap towards the upside. Therefore, on Monday, I'm expecting, or the next week, to go up again and fill the gap that is gonna open on Monday. We'll see about this anyway. So now continuing, why I'm saying that it might fill the half of the gap, because the same amount of the gap is repeating here. We got the same 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the same 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, an impulse wave 1, right, or an impulse whatever, one or other. It's both an impulse, and that's why it's always in a wave 3 or in a start of a week. Always this gap happens. If we have a impulse wave 3, then it might jump directly on a Monday, right? And this was a wave 3 as well. So look what happened here, guys. Look what happened. In this gap, after creating the gap. The impulse has finished. 3 waves correction, massive correction, right? I'm gonna take this even almost like that and move it to here. Right? It's not so far. Okay, it's not that far. Where we are now is not so far from that correction. By the way, our correction starts from that point because of the ABC, right? The ABC flat. From that point, A, B, C as flat, and this is our correction so far. However, back to there. Sorry for interrupting the idea. The idea now here is we finished the impulse. We went into 3 correction waves, filling half of the gap. Filling half of the gap, retrace, going for a new impulse, right? 3 waves correction again to fill the full gap again. And this is exactly what I'm talking about for this gap here, okay? On Bitcoin, if we go to the chart, we can see that we have so far filled the half of the gap. We have almost touched the 0.618 support level, okay, which it should be a strong support as usual. And we might see a wave up, right? A move up as a wave, a C, impulsive wave, finishing the wave a B, right? In a flat, A, B, and C, then moving down again with our famous impulse. It's very famous, this impulse, yeah? Because we have been moving this impulse so far, so many times. Very tricky, yeah? Very tricky market, but I think this is a very high possibility scenario, yeah? Very high possibility scenario. And don't forget that the CME might create a gap here and on Monday that we have to fill. Alright? During that fulfillment of the gap, we might expect a move towards the upside impulsively and then a move back down, okay? Playing the psychology again, creating a lower high, claiming the market and the traders that we're not reaching an all-time high anymore. In that way, getting a beautiful 3 correction waves, filling the gap, the half of the gap again, and closing the wave at 2. Then move towards the upside, creating an extreme fear market. Right? An extreme fear market there. So the point of this video is not so much analytic here, all right? It's not just about analysis. It's just mostly about psychology and how the psychology is reflected in the chart, okay? This is my point of view, guys, and I hope that I'm not so far. I hope that my scenario is not so far from that, of course. Everything is still possible, but this is my point of view, and this is my highest possibility, to be honest. Now, as I said, I want to show you something bearish, right? I want to show you something as a bearish possibility, but how to say, even if it is bearish, you will find this very, very fun. So, as a bearish scenario, I'm looking for then for lower prices, right? If I'm looking for a lower price, how can I go directly to there without filling any wave first? Why? Because we finished, let's say, impulse or ABC. If this is not 3, then this is AC definitely, right? So let's take this as starting point. We're going A, B, and C, okay? Then this is impulsive, so definitely this is an A, right? If that is an A, then we are looking for a B, right? If a B is happening now, let's say in the worst case scenario, the B went for a lower low, okay, lower low, lower than this price, creating a wave for another an alternative 4 here. So rather than this one, then this is a wave 4, okay. Then having an expanded diagonal A, B overshoot down lower than the start of the flat, and then go higher for a wave, a C, with an all-time high. This is your bearish scenario. There is no alternative. This is a thing from Elliott Wave point of view. There is no alternative, right? Because it's a little bit hard to find an alternative for it, right? Because it is definitely, there is no way to move on down here, okay, without filling a wave towards the upside. Now, okay, running flat, which goes back to here, to the half, to where we are, maybe a little bit higher. This is your most bearish scenario, okay? This is the most bearish, is a running flat, getting to a lower low, going back to just the mid of it, and then boom, move down. Okay, then okay, I'm fine. Yeah. But to say that we are already bearish and we are going into a bearish market, that is impossible. Right now, it is impossible, right? We see 5 waves, okay? We see 3 waves up. We see 5 waves down. So it's definitely a zigzag ABC. Now, 5 waves up, A. If that is a B, then your C is towards the upside. Okay, guys, if that is a flat A, B, C, A, B, and C, okay, then we are looking for the upside, right? Because that makes 5, 3, 5. Okay, guys, this is the worst case scenario. We're talking here about an ABC still, not an impulse 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? We're talking about ABC, which is your most bearish scenario again, by having A, B, and C, right? This is your final result. Therefore, guys, until that time that it comes where a bearish pattern or scenario is on, I will make sure to tell you about it, okay? And here we go. This is my scenario since, I think, 6 months, to be honest, or so, yeah, or 5 months. I created this scenario as a bearish. Okay, what if, right? What if the impulse has finished in a 5 waves, okay? And we start a correction of ABC, then ABC, then okay, then A, B, and then C towards the downside. Right, so this is your worst case scenario where you have an ABC towards the downside. Therefore, if we want this to happen, I'm sorry, but we need one move up. There is no possible way to get it without a move up towards the upside. Whether we get it from here, okay, or from there, it doesn't matter, okay. We need a move up. Now, how much this can reach, okay, it can be, as we said, a running flat and then move down, okay, very possible. But we still very far from this scenario, which has already lowest possibilities, because this is not what is going on in the history. Okay, guys, so I just want to make sure that I deliver here the real idea behind what's going on in the psychology of the market, okay, guys? I know I'm repeating so much about the psychology, but now it's only the psychology that plays in the market, okay? And I see already this in your comment, and some people are very afraid of it and so on. So, yeah, I just want to make it clearer, my point of view. Okay, I hope that you like this update. Please hit the like button if you did, and yeah, thank you very much for watching. See you in the next video. Bye bye.